Hello YouTube, part 3 of the series, Spinal versus Curse Team. I forgot to do the intro in the last one, so I'll just make up for it here. Content from Unite Mics, they're Unite Mics on Twitter, check them out, check me out as well, at mblazeconq. And we're going to get right into the game 3. So, I haven't been super impressed by both teams so far. I think that the biggest advantage on the side of Cursed has been the team fighting. I think that Spinal has just at least in game 2, I think they honestly probably should have won game 2. I think that Cursed made some major mistakes in the early game, but Spinal kind of got unlucky with a few sequences of bad events. I also haven't been a huge fan of how Spinal have played the macro with Hoopa. I think that they could have done better. With my little boy, my precious little man, who is the most important man in the world and the best champion in the game. Look at that smile. Look at his beautiful white pearly teeth. Interesting thing immediately. Change up in terms of draft. We felt what we've seen for both games previously is blue banning Inteleon, and then red banning Lapras. We see an adjustment, which is good because I'm fucking tired of seeing this champion. He's been very impressive both games, so good adjustment from the side of blue here. And then just first picking the one that you leave up, which makes sense. I would have liked to have seen somebody pick this guy up because it's very clear they're putting high prio on him. They also dropped the Zacian prio, which means I expect that they're like, okay, we're giving them Zacian, we're giving them Hoopa. At least that's what they should know between the first games. Let me see what Venusaur, Slowbro. Okay, cool. So immediately love this combo. I've spoken about it ad nauseum on this fucking channel, but this combo is so great because it provides you a multitude of opportunities in how you want to play the game. You have a double poke mode with Solar Beam and Snipe Shot. You have a straight up engage mode, like a really aggro front to back with Petal Dance, with Liquidation. You could play a little bit of both, right? Maybe like an Inteleon sort of playing like an Artillery Mage with Snipe Shot, and then you let the Venusaur play like a front to back sort of style with the Petal Dance, and then maybe like a 3 front core with a 2 front back line, something like that. It just gives you tons of opportunities in draft and doesn't commit you to any sort of theme, especially early in draft where you're like, okay, I don't really know what I'm going to go for yet. And as long as you're able to play both modes, it's just so good, especially given that they can swap out depending on what you like for the lane matchup, right? Because he can be jungle or Venusaur can be jungle. They both also can be ADCs as well. So it's you have a double flex in terms of it's also a non-unique flex, which means that because these two flex for the same role, they can always be swapped out at any time during draft, which means it's hey, this puts you in a very weird position where you're I don't know what exactly I want to draft, I don't know how I want to draft. So yeah, I really, this combo is just fucking gold immediately. Immediately favor this team because of it, but we'll see. I like this. I honestly haven't been impressed by Zacian so far. I understand the last game it was sort of a series of unfortunate events, but even game 1 I was this champion is okay, but I think that especially in game 2 it was super fucking exposed for being a fraud. Zacian's a fraud. They counterpicked this shit so fucking hard. And then they're going to pick the Slowbro over here. I think this is fine as well. I suppose it should be more accurate to be hey, this is 1, 1, 2. So just a, a friendly reminder that I'm bouncing around a little bit. But Slowbro is fine. I don't mind it. Umbreon, Mew. So this feels like a bit of a takeaway pick, and I don't like this pick here. Because I don't feel like it fits into what they're going for with their team comp. It feels like they're we need to take away Mew so we don't lose to it. Because I would bet money this guy was I have no fucking clue how to play against Mew, which is fair. But this feels like a takeaway pick, and I don't like it because it opens up opportunities that it closes off opportunities. And so I think the Dodrio pick looks even worse because I don't like the Speedster without a support dedicated to it. I'd rather this be a Comfy or a Blissey, and then you can run the Speedster here, and then save your ADC for 5 so that you can pick A9 or Mew, whatever is left up. It's also I don't think there's pressure to pick an ADC here, which is why I'm a little bit confused as to why they're picking it. Like, I think you'd rather pick it here to round out the comp, and then just go like Blissey and then Dodrio here, and then you're doing a lot more in terms of like or at least I would like that a lot better. I think, especially because there is zero pressure to pick ADC. Like, I understand wanting to save the R5 counter pick and like you use your natural counter pick that you get, but at the same time, I think that it's better to like pick your ADC once you have a full view of their composition and you have a full view of your competition, and so you're like, okay, cool. This is like how my composition is going to shape up. This is how theirs is going to shape up, and like this is our goals. Because like this is a dead giveaway to me that it's a front to back, which is why this makes no sense. Because like this, like none of these champions have committed to a theme so far, and so it's like I don't get where this guy is like coming in. Like I understand they're probably like, well, we need to pick something because Blue Urshi's banned, and so it's like, okay, cool, we just picked Dodrio, we fucking run it down, like, or we're gonna roll with it. But like I feel like Leafeon, Glaceon are champs that I'd rather have, even though they're not that great in this scenario, because they fit into how the competition is going to play as a more mid-ranged comp about space control, or like an anti-dive comp as well, because like that's what Mew signifies to me, that you're playing some anti-dive, poke, anti-dive and poke, and like I don't think that Dodrio is necessarily a poke champion. They might go tri-attack, which I think makes him sort of a poke champion, in which case I think it's fine. As long as they go tri-attack, I think it's fine, but I doubt that, because whenever I say, oh, it should be fine, they just do exactly the opposite. Oh, I also need to, give me 1 second as I skip the ads. We've got to do a little bit of, okay, this works. I need to keep remembering to label so that I get the reads. So this is gonna be top. This is gonna be roamer. This is gonna be support. I'd bet that this guy's jungle, this guy's ADC. That makes more sense to me. I think that you like the Inteleon into Mew matchup because I think he can out-secure Mew. I think Venusaur can't early game. Other than that, this is going to be top. This is going to be roamer. This is going to be support. This is going to be ADC. This is going to be jungle. Okay, cool. Oh, as well, I don't believe I explained the term roamer. Roamer is the term that I am using because oftentimes the secondary support doesn't actually play in lane. You'll see them, you'll see them invade, you'll see them roam a lot more, and that's why I'm calling them the roamer. Sort of like the support in Hawk or AOV, even to some extent Wild Rift as well, with how prevalent lane swapping has been. But like that's the sort of thing that I'm thinking about when I'm calling the roamer. The roamer. I also apologize if I sound like a crackhead. I just had a bunch of fucking sugar, so. I'm a little bit coked up. Also taking a sip of water because I'm thirsty as fuck. Yeah, so rules are like I guessed. I don't think there's gonna be anything super volatile in the early game. Like I said, I'd expect Mew to lose pretty hard early. And so I don't really like that pick here, especially in laning phase. Venusaur's gonna go top, I bet. Holy shit. Yeah, Mew's getting fucking pissed off. That's never a good start. So this is sort of a game 1 scenario where Red, it's the same size as game 1 as well, by the way. Red did manage winning game 1, but I don't think it was necessarily because of how they played overall. I think that Blue made some pretty fucking big macro errors near the end, and like Red had a good great team fight. But what I'd like to see is Red get a fucking win in top lane and then immediately run bot and just put this fucking Inteleon in the dirt. You've got to understand, if you're Red, that like Inteleon matters way fucking more than Zacian. And if I watch them try to put this fucking this fucking Zacian ahead, or their top laner ahead, for the second game in a row when they have Hoopa, I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind. They did get the kill, but it's a trade 1-for-1. Not actually that valuable. Okay, Dodrio also gets the score as well, so I think he's feeling pretty good about himself. Yeah, this is a great play from Red. Now what I want to see is I want to see them fucking immediately run bot side. Did Mew die? No, Mew's just getting literally pissed off 24/7. Oh, Mew didn't die. I was like, why the fuck is Mew in base? Yeah, you need to make sure this Mew can actually play the fucking game at this point, because it's not happening right now. Mew is level 5, has 0 points. Like, there is no way that you can let this continue if you want to actually win the game. Also, don't like giving up the 30 score. How many people come to mid to contest? Yeah, why the fuck is there... So this is like literally everything that I didn't want to have happen. So, when I talk about Hoopa, you'll see me do this a lot, where I'll draw one arrow this way, and then portal, and then draw the arrow this way. So the reason that I do it this way is because, like, when you portal a Hoopa, it does one very important thing, and it protects yourself. It means that they can't aggress onto you, or onto whoever's here. Speaking of which, why is he here? Without actually, threatening themselves. So, first of all, let's fucking start at the beginning. Mew should be getting all of this. Zacian should take none of the jungle farm. If Zacian takes any of the jungle farm, they're fucking trolling, although I know they already have. The reason for this is Mew's already getting pissed off. You need to make sure this Mew can play the game. If Mew can't play the game, you're going to lose the game. If your ADC can't play, you're going to lose the game. I'm going to say it one more time for those of you in the back. If the ADC cannot play the game, you are going to lose. If you win, it is not because... If you win, it is not a repeatable strategy. Like, if you win, you cannot consistently do that. And if you can, you're playing super heavy topside, and you're playing for a topside carry, most likely. In which case, you already have another carry. That said, I don't think Zacian can actually carry this game, because Buzzwole is basically even with him. It's not like he's a level ahead. So you're going to need to make sure your Mew can play the game. Because right now, they cannot. 30 points, 0 points, 0 farm. So what you need to do is you need to give the Mew all of this. Just let him run in there. 2, Zacian should be defending this. Because the one thing that you don't want is Zacian is having this guy get even further ahead. Or having this guy get back into the game. And if they score 30, they're back in the game. 3. I understand that, like, they rotate this way because they get the kill into the jungle, and then Hoopa takes the portal back. But it's just so much slower, man. And, like, it also means that they can't capitalize on the advantages easily. When they do TP, like, they take this long road. They know they're coming because they just got the kill in here. So they know it's not safe. So they can play a lot safer. And it's like, instead, you just have, like... If you come out of this portal, you come out so fast. It's like, it's ridiculously high speed. This is very fast, and they're playing super aggro. But in terms of like how surprising it is, it's low. It's low speed. You know they're coming. You can avoid everything that's gonna happen here. Although he's still forced to flash. It's a double flash, but it's like, okay, cool. Like, we're fine. We're totally fine. They can't kill us. And we're just going to continue to make sure that, Mew gets 0 farm. If they kill the Buzzwole here, they should. Yeah, so this is a drill pack set, which means it's so fucking over for this team. They have... Their team comp makes no sense. They're not taking advantage of... What the fuck? So just portal bottom? So Hoopa solo portals bottom to take the 3v3. But Hoopa doesn't make any difference here. Hoopa's going to continue to just keep getting this lane stomped. Like, he doesn't do anything. He also can't take the portal. He does take the portal back. That's risky. So I'd like to see, given that Inteleon with Snipe Shot, I'd like to see the Venusaur go Pedal Dance here. Just run the double engage comp, especially given that they have this and this. You can just kind of run them over here. I think that, like, I can't stand that Orange is doing the exact same thing wrong for 3 games. I'd be losing my mind if I was their coach. I doubt they have one, though, given how they're consistently playing the game. Yeah, so first of all, they don't bring the most fed member of the team towards the bot side to stop the most fed member of the enemy team, who is just fucking going buck wild at this point. Your ADC is a level behind. He's the same level as every support in the game. Like, you've got to do something, man. You can't consistently win if this is going to be how you're going to play the game. Although I fucking hate it, like, let's be clear, I hate playing for my ADC. You've got to give them some shit, man. There's some shit, but I don't think that they can actually convert this into anything meaningful. Okay. Neutral objective. Umbreon's gonna be here in time. Everybody's here in time. The Umbreon is going in solo. Fuck. This game is over. This game is so fucking over, man. Holy shit. Oh my god, this is an awful game. So first of all, what the fuck is going on here, Umbreon? Where's the rest of your team? Like, they're all hitting neutral objective, and you're over here doing, I don't know. And then Zacian's just doing it topside. Umbreon just gets killed for no reason. Also, it's a fucking Solar Beam liquidation set in terms of team. So, I want to make something clear. I think that literally every set on Venusaur Inteleon, right, because the permutation is... God, I love fucking drawing Punnett squares. I'm such a fucking nerd. Solar Beam. You've got Pedal Dance. You've got, we'll say, and then Liquidation. We'll make this H. We'll make Snipe Shot an H. So H is Snipe Shot. Actually, hold up. We're gonna do this easier. Solar Beam. B for Beam. P for Pedal Dance. This is gonna be S for Snipe Shot. L for Liquidation. So Snipe Shot, Solar Beam. This is a good combination. Snipe Shot, Pedal Dance. This is an okay combination. It fits the mold because Venusaur operates as a pseudo frontline for the Artillery Mage to actually play the game. Beam Liquidation. We're going to talk about this in a second. And then we've got Pedal Dance, Liquidation. This is a good one as well because you can play normal front to back. This is the only bad combination in my eyes because, like, you don't want Inteleon being the person who's moving forward because Inteleon doesn't actually have as much safety because when Inteleon moves forward, the only method of protection it has is just moving backwards. Meanwhile, Venusaur has Giga Drain, which is a lot of safety in terms of damage reduction, and so it actually becomes a sort of pseudo tank in the front line. And that is why you don't like Inteleon to be the first person moving in. Like, that's literally the only thing I don't want when I'm playing these two as a combination, and that's why I don't like seeing this, right? Because the Inteleon and the Venusaur are playing about the same distance, and the Inteleon is the one who has to move in first. First of all, I don't know what the fuck the Umbreon is doing. That shit's not okay. Second of all, I don't like what's going on up here. I don't like taking the 1v1. I think it's just a flip unless you're like 100% confident that you're going to beat that Buzzwole, which I don't feel like is actually a fair statement because if the Buzzwole fucking grabs you and slams you into the Regieleki, you might just get rolled. And like the Mew does good work here, although I do fucking hate the Mew. But like by the time he's going to do anything, both the Hoopa has died and the Umbreon has died because the Hoopa tries to save the Umbreon and then like dies as well. The Hoopa makes a bad play disaster. And this was something that I said in the game one as well that's sort of ringing back to me. I don't know if I just paid less attention to Orange and this team in game two, but like this is like the second or third time they made a bad play, just an absolutely abhorrent one. It's okay to like lose a person, and also like here's the other thing about Hoopa. You have Hoopa, which means that you can just pull off, leave the Umbreon here, and then just portal the top side, and then just take the top side neutral objective. Like you have that opportunity as Hoopa team, which the other team doesn't have. If you want to just out tempo them and say like fuck it, we don't need Reggie Rock, like we don't need Baseman here, and like that is something that you can 100% say. Like if you're like we don't want the bot objective, but now you're fighting a 2v4 and you're gonna fucking lose the game. Like you're popping double. They popped double Unite move for literally nothing. Like I'm just gonna let that one sit. Like this is just like I said in game one. Like I don't like shitting on this team. I think they're like genuinely they've had some good ideas, and like I've liked how they've cross mapped a couple times, and like there have been glimpses of like a good team on this to me. But like holy shit, man, some of this shit is just like I would lose my fucking mind if I was a coach. Because it's like what you're doing makes no logical sense. I guarantee you, if you were like asking any of these players if they should take a 2v4, like if you showed them this nameplates off, they'd be like, what the fuck? Because it makes no sense. Also, again, the top lane, it's just a fucking... You cannot take the... If you are not 100% confident you're going to win the 1v1, never take it. Like, it's better to just stay alive and then not lose anything. But you give over a kill and an 18-point score, so, yeah, I don't like it. Anyways, Purple's winning this game, although they have the worst Venusaur and Teleon set. Like, again, it doesn't help that the Mew can't play the game. Although they're level 9 now, like, they're still unable to play the game. Like, they have caught up to the Inteleon, but they've just been so far behind for so long, the team had no opportunity to make plays. It's like you needed to put this Mew at least slightly in a position to do something, because like now they're having the ability to play the game and they can't do anything. It's like, well, what did you want from me, team? I don't know. I think this game is omega over at this point. Like the additional benefits that Red will get from Maudinos is like null and void, and like the Regieleki isn't even. Again, you've got to remember, if you don't push the Regieleki into pad, there is no benefit in taking it. So there is no benefit for the Zacian here. And like they're gonna get like a very low score over here, but I doubt that they're gonna be able to convert this into anything. It's like they cannot do anything right now. They don't have the ability to. I think they just wanted to break pad there. Otherwise, it makes no sense for the Buzzwole to score. But yeah, I'm just not. I feel like you can win that fight. Like, oh yeah, Chansey does take a while to rotate, so you do get away with a little bit of like, hey, we just kind of have to break it and run. Cause yeah, they're just gonna continue to stop it. Yeah. No, like this is, I think very well played from Blue in terms of like just not fucking it up Because like, I will maul it, red here all day about like you're just not playing correctly, but at the same time, blue is doing what they need to in terms of like, hey, we've just gotta play our fucking game and not lose. That said, love to see a good hoop ult because literally no other champ allows you to just pull your fucking team to a neutral objective. Because like you can see the idea here is for them to create pressure across map, I think, and then have the Inteleon solo it while everyone's rotating down, or at least start it up, and then Hoop is just like, oh yeah, for me, smile, and then just pops his ult here, and everybody fucking runs at it, which is like, again, this is good. This is a good use of Hoopa that I like to see. Not a huge fan of the Mew popping ult here. I don't. Does Mew ult fade? Is that why? I'm not a huge fan of how early Mew popped that ult. I feel like if they held it, in response to like a Venusaur ult, because like there was no pressure there, so I don't understand why the Mew decided to pop ult. I'm not a huge fan of that. Other than that, yeah, like, although they do get the neutral, they're gonna continue to lose the fight. Where the fuck did Odrio go? What? Oh, they should get chunked out. Yeah, so I mean, as a start to this fight, this is okay. Like, I think that, like, I understand the reason that they aggress forward so much. They want to like make this an even more positive play, but the Mew popping ult just kind of fucks you here because like you don't have the defensive tools you need to actually win the fight. It's also like you're still down levels, man. I don't see this happening. I'm not a believer. I also don't like drill peck here. Like I said, I feel like in that case you shouldn't have picked Mew. Like I just this game seems like a draft diff to me. Like I understand where a lot of the problems in gameplay have come in on the side of red, and like, oh, like it's not an unwinnable game. Like I think that they've like sort of come back into it at least, with a lot of catch up XP. But at the same time, I think that a lot of the issues stem from like a very uncoordinated draft, especially in regards to like this R4 and R5, or yeah, R4 and R5, which like don't actually synergize that well. Love flipping it. Like you're I understand. I understand why the red team is making the moves that they're making, but it's not conducive to a consistent winning environment to me. And to me that's the most important thing, which is like if you want to be consistent, you should take as little flips as possible. And I think that this is just like like I think that although I don't like how blue is playing, I don't think blue's playing perfectly either. I think that blue has a higher percent chance on average, right? Like, I think that the percent chance that I'd take, like, the percent chance that red wins this game is like 35. The percent chance that blue takes this is like 75. You're taking blue every single time. That didn't add up. I'm a fucking dumbass. 65. Blue is at 65. 1 second. Let me. So now that I've done my math correctly, um, like you take 65 every time here. If you don't take 65, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna take the 35% chance, you're just an idiot. So like no other factors, okay? They're telling you it's straight up, 1 to 2 odds. Like you're betting on this. They're like you're gonna get double the return no matter who you bet on. One of these teams has a 65% chance to win. One of them has a 35% chance to win. You are always betting on the 65. Even if you lose, you didn't make a mistake. You played the correct option. Betting on the 65 was the correct choice. If the 35 wins, you didn't do anything wrong. Like, betting on the 35 was not the correct option because, like, it's less likely to happen. It just so happened that it didn't come up this time. So, get owned, nerd. Like, it's not like I think that game one was a 35% chance. And like blue sort of in game one, these guys sort of stumbled their way out of a victory and into a loss, and these guys sort of stumbled their way into a victory by playing good macro. And like I think it's a very interesting theory that not like I'm the fucking judge, jury, and executioner of good macro, let's be clear. But I think it's a very interesting idea that like when this team traded properly and like played the map, they had a lot better time of it. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think that there's maybe some sort of correlation there between like, hey, when you play the map, winning percentage goes up. That's just me speaking though. I'm just gonna put that out there. So we're setting up for the Ray fight. Already like good space control. Like you see that they have this. You see that they have like. I think it'd be more appropriate to be like this much space, right? And like the Umbreon is pushing in this way as long as the Umbreon doesn't take a ton of damage, because they can't rip Rayquaza super fast with their comp right now. And so like as long as Dodrio can come up this lane, I think that they have a very good angle into the fight, because Dodrio can sort of crunch onto these two, as well as the Inteleon as well. But then again, there is no pressure for blue to do it, so. So they see Dodrio, they're going to start it up. What the fuck is Umbreon doing? This is like the second or third time. This is also one of those, like, I don't want to say that they're playing on tilt, because I think that there's a bad insinuation there. But I feel like if you were to ask this player right now, like why, if they think this is still a good choice, I think that they'd have a harder time defending it. And they'd probably be like, nah, I don't think that's great. Because like look at where the rest of their team is. They're like way back here. The rest of their team is. Oh, I was like, what? Why did I not draw the line? The rest of their team is way back. Why am I? Holy shit, my micro is bad. The rest of their team is way back here, and like Dodrio is sort of over in this area, and like you're just kind of off in Narnia here. Like Dodrio is fine because there's no pressure, but like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 members of the enemy team surrounding you. Like you're not. This is not a good place to be, and like you shouldn't have pushed this far out of the bush and like try to go this way. You needed to go back out this way, I think. Because, yeah, now you get grabbed and you're getting fucking rolled. That said, they do take the TP out, so they're fine here. Mew pops ult. It's a big ult. I think this is one of those unfortunate, like, Umbreon does get a very big ult there, doesn't actually get any shield stolen, and then, like, 2 other people pop ult behind it. Because, like, you're going to see Umbreon pop ult, and then I think immediately afterwards, Inteleon's going to pop ult, and Snorlax pop ult. And it's like, well, better luck next time. I'm not also, like I said, I'm also just not a huge fan of this team composition, because I think that the way you have to play this, because he wants to dive, he doesn't really care. He's more like I want to control like a mid-range space. He wants to get dove on, and then he wants to get dove on. And it's like, well, there's like, everybody on this comp wants something just a little bit different. And it's like, there's no idea. Versus like this, you have a really nice just like, hey, I'm just going to sit in front, I'm going to grab people. I'm going to use distance, although they did choose the worst set for this. Then you just have like a good frontline guy, and then I'm gonna just support the team. And it's like, I think that the unified identity of this team is just better. And I think this game is just a fucking draft gap, man. Also, you picked the fucking Dodrio into Buzzwole, man. There's just no fucking way. game's over. That was like a valiant attempt. Overall, if I had to like, let's be a little bit fucking nerds here. So like, what do I want to improve on either team? If I was like the fucking, I have my god powers, and I've now coached god of either of these teams. Um, I don't really have many complaints for these guys. I think that like a lot of their issues stemmed from how they played their compositions out. I actually liked some of their ideas as well. Like I think the Mew top was really good, and I think that a lot of the issues that they had were just like symptomatic of a wider Unite community issue that I see as personally as an issue, rather than like oh, these individual players have issues. Although this guy needs to fix his fucking jungling. I'll tell him that much. That shit game 2 was not okay. Improve that shit. I know he knows fucking Overlord, and Overlord probably do better. The other thing that I want to on this end, I got a lot of shit to say about these guys. Um, their objective timing is all out of whack. Their tempo is all out of fucking whack. If you're gonna play Hoopa, you need to get the max value out of him. This champion is like, they basically win like a game and a half off of Hoopa because they like get back into this game because of Hoopa. They get that Reggie steal, and that lets them do some bullshit. But like, I think that they're just not maximizing his value at all. Like if you look back at the game 1 VOD and how they played with Hoopa, there were so many missed opportunities that they just kind of fumble because they're like playing super slow. And like even here, like this like into here like macro rotation makes no sense. Like even though they do get these 2 jungle buffs, it ends up just being so slow that the Mew's already out of the fucking game by that time. The other thing is like they need to make sure they're getting the double portals off, and like support their bot lane better because their bot lane was just getting fucking rolled every game because it didn't have a super favorable matchup either time. Other than that, jungle timings and like tempo, I think are like the biggest things, which are like, wow, improve on your tempo and jungle timings. Great advice, but like, how would I do this? I think just jungle timings, like understanding, hey, I can go into the jungle here versus I can't go into the jungle here. I need to run straight to the objective, and I think that game 1 is like a stomp for them, and that's like a bigger mental edge. And then like I just don't like that they're not playing the map. I feel like they can play the map more. Like there were a bunch of times, like even in this game, right? We saw that one time where Blissey just gets to score 33 points topside for no reason, and like if Blissey, like if we'll rewind the clock a little bit. Well, let me talk about like cascading consequences of your poor choices in the early game. What is this? This is 612. Okay, this is enough for me to just spam the L key. Okay, so right here, right, Blissey's gonna score 30 points. Because Blissey scores 30 points here, in this top dive, right? If this was at 33 out of 80, the Umbreon can defend this pad. And that means that this is actually like an 80-point difference instead of like a 100-point difference, which is like, it's a mental thing, but also it's like 30 less points, right? But like, because the Umbreon can defend this pad, this means that the Dodrio can come here in time. Maybe they get a few more kills. Maybe that changes the outlook of the game. But it's like, hey, small things matter, and like the macro matters, because like I don't want to be that fucking guy, but like that shit is not okay. There is no way that macro setup is okay. That's my point there. Like that's just nope. Well, that's all I got for today. Have a nice day.